Welcome back. Shoop Sports, everybody. I'm your host, Shoop. Different background today. Why? Who knows why? I like to travel a lot. Anyway, so today is NFL Saturday, and we are going to be going over our top five potential Super Bowl matchups that we could possibly be looking forward to. Um, Looking at the sheet, we have a lot of really good potential matchups, but few of them stand out for particular reasons. And I tried to balance the teams that could potentially be in it as much as possible, but really, with like certain teams, they're just going to be certain storylines that are going to be a little more intriguing than the other. So I'm going to start off with my number five pick, and that would be the Bengals versus the Packers. There is a big battle of young versus old, with the AFC being the young side and the NFC being the old side. And I don't think anything highlights a potential matchup more than having second year quarterback Joe Burrow go against Aaron Rodgers. And why I think that would have more impact than a potential matchup with Tom Brady is because, well, the with Brady's been there, done that. Of course, wants to keep winning and winning, but Rodgers is very hungry for that title. And then you've got the upstart Burrow, who has came on like crazy in his second year, really flowing in with his offense, with what Zach Taylor's doing. His receivers are amazing. Uh, this could be, out of all the young versus old matchups, one of the most intriguing. The high-powered offense versus the guy who's been running high-powered offenses for years but hasn't been able to win the big one, at least as often as he has won 10 years ago. So that one is very appealing to me. The second one I'm going to go with, and my number four choice, which some of you are probably not going to be big fans of because we like variety, but I really think the Kansas City Tampa Bay rematch uh, would be one of the most intriguing Super Bowls we've had in a long time because we don't really get rematches. We never get rematches. I'd have to do research on how long ago the last rematch was, but it certainly wasn't within the last 20 years. And how does Mahomes respond? He's had a whole year of off season, and then he's had some struggles at the beginning of this season where he's had to hear all about the Super Bowl failures and how his team's coming up short. And you best believe that that's going to be on Mahomes' mind if he gets Brady again. And can he enact that revenge, which I very much think he could. But then you got Brady in his way. If Brady beats Mahomes for a second time, well, we already know that Brady right now is the greatest player in NFL history. With his accomplishments, having as many Super Bowls as any NFL franchise, it's hard to say that Brady's legacy could go farther from even here. But I really think that if Brady beats Mahomes again for a second time, what else is there to prove? I think more than any other game that a Brady Super Bowl win in this scenario would most likely send him off. Uh, Number three, and this one also involves the Chiefs and involves the Packers. Two teams we talked about before. Chiefs Packers. Who wouldn't want to see that game? And many believe that that's the best team in the AFC versus the best team in the NFC. That's part of why it's an intriguing matchup. But for a season-long viewers, we haven't seen, we never saw Mahomes, Rodgers like we were promised earlier this year because that was the 1 week that Rodgers missed due to COVID. So we were a bit robbed of that experience. Now, if we get in the Super Bowl, it's going to be like a rarity game, especially, um, consider that Rodgers might be moved in the offseason. If no matter what happens, let's say Rodgers could go to the Broncos, a very likely suitor, a possible suitor from last offseason, still a suitor today. If if Mahomes beats Rodgers, Rodgers is pissed, never wants to play for Green Bay again. He could go to Denver and personally see Mahomes twice a year. And I think out of all scenarios, this has the best season storyline and the potential best offseason storyline. But we've got two more picks, and these last two also involve Tom Brady. Um, the second best choice would be the Tennessee versus Tampa Bay for two big reasons. Well, one, it's former teammates in Tom Brady and Mike Vrabel. Now Brady is going up against Vrabel in the Super Bowl, a game that both of these guys played in. I think they both played in three together. Um, but besides just being familiar with each other, Vrabel was the one that sent off Brady from New England when they beat him in the wild card round. And Brady, that was his last game as a Patriot. And I'm sure, it's my cat if you're wondering. So I'm sure that that's been on Brady's mind for a while. So, and you got to also factor in that it's kind of like strength versus strength. So Tennessee has Derrick Henry, beast, one of the best rushers that we've seen in a long time, going against a very good rush defense led by Vita Vea in the middle of that Tampa Bay defense. And um, yeah, that could lead to some wacky game plans. Uh, Again, Tennessee's rush defense also very good, and Bucks are shorthanded at receiver. The Tennessee defense is playing better in the second half of the year, so a lot to consider. But to me, and this is my number one pick for Super Bowl, the best, most intriguing Super Bowl matchup, and that's my cast. Tail, it would be the Bills versus Bucks. And that's simply because I believe this is the best Super Bowl matchup on paper that we can get in terms of, you know, a mix of, storyline. You've got Josh Allen, who stormed into the league, now gets his first crack at a Super Bowl. But really, also, this Bills team all year has been underperforming, but their metrics have shown that they're top five overall, defense and offense. And it's a dangerous combo. And I really think that the Bills can, so I think they can definitely beat the Chiefs. And if they get past the Chiefs, that's a big hurdle for Josh Allen. So what else can he accomplish? He could easily go on to win the AFC Championship from there, and then he gets his ultimate nemesis, Brady. Not his ultimate nemesis, but potentially. But this is the game where, we got experience versus youth, like bringing in the new era, sort of. And it's another game of strength for strength. Bills love to run the ball, mostly with their quarterback, but they love to run the ball against Tampa Bay's very good rush defense. But this could be a potential very, very high scoring game. And I like that matchup more than all of them. Before we go, I want to highlight a few teams I didn't really talk about here as in potential Super Bowl matchups. Well, I like San Francisco as a team, but I don't think they're Super Bowl bound just because of the team stacked ahead of them. The three other quarterbacks in the NFC are they're more experienced, but I just trust them way more in the playoffs. But even that being said, I'd include the Rams in the list, and the Rams would be very intriguing in almost any matchup really that they come up in, because the Super Bowl is being played in Los Angeles. Well, it's a home game for them, but we already kind of saw that last year, and yeah, it definitely made an impact. But again, this Rams team, I really just think they're a bit overrated. I had them as a Super Bowl winner entering the year, but Stafford hasn't really played up to his potential all year, and he could easily self-destruct again. He won a playoff game. Congratulations to him, but again, it's very short amount of success, uh, and they're not really a team, especially with Aaron Donald's actions and Jalen Ramsey's not the most likable guy. They're they're not quite the team that you want to get behind, as opposed to maybe like Ryan Tannehill in the Titans or Buffalo, Cincinnati, San Francisco even. You want to see Green Bay win a title, but like the Rams, like they're a super team that was like built. And if anything, if the Rams get to a Super Bowl, I'd be rooting against their AFC opponent. So that's one thing. Um, and I do think that like a Cincinnati, Tampa Bay, or Cincinnati Rams matchup could be very exciting. But I do think that just for this year, that the experience will do them in the big games. And then the other games just really don't have much intrigue. I thought about Chiefs Rams, but this isn't like Chiefs Rams of old, where it's just two popping offenses with no defense. The Chiefs are playing better, way better defense now, uh, and the Rams, their offense isn't as explosive as it used to be, and they're playing better defense now. So a couple of years ago would have been great, but not right now. All right. Well, anyway, that's it for Shoop Sports. I'm signing out, and have fun watching the playoffs weekend, everyone. Peace.